Hi guys, this is Samantha Ward here again, and today the element important to the fundamentalist modernist controversy I'll be speaking on is actually an individual by the name of Pearl Buck. Pearl S. Buck was born in Virginia into a family of Presbyterian missionaries. Shortly after her birth, Pearl and her family traveled back to China, the country where her parents were tirelessly working to try to convert Chinese peasants to fundamentalists. Pearl's early years were spent in a small Chinese village where she attended a boarding school. She completed her course load in 1909 and moved back to the United States in 1910 to study philosophy at Randolph-Macon Women's College in Lynchburg, Virginia. She was offered a position as a psychology professor, but a semester later, Buck returned to China to take care of her mother, who had fallen ill. In 1925, Buck returned to America to pursue her master's degree in English at Cornell University. After graduation, Pearl returned to China yet again. In 1930, Buck published her first novel, East Wind, West Wind, focusing on China's difficult transition from old traditions to a new way of life. Her next and perhaps best-known novel, The Good Earth, earned her a Pulitzer Prize in 1932. 6 years later, Pearl received a Nobel Prize in Literature, the third American and fourth woman to do so. Concurrent with her writing career, Buck was active in humanitarian efforts. She had been described as an energetic supporter of racial equality decades before the modern civil rights movement. Buck was dynamic in protecting Asian Americans against racial intolerance by increasing awareness about it. She also strove to improve disadvantaged Asian Americans' living conditions. As the daughter of fundamentalist missionary parents, she took on their same lifestyle, though in later years we see the missionary life change views in the eyes of Pearl. Some have referred to her as a secular missionary, as she supported issues outside of the religious box, such as equal rights for women and interracial adoption. After years of seeing her father ignore her family and a husband who did the same, she wrote herself out of the traditional missionary world. She had come to despise it and described the typical missionary as narrow, uncharitable, unappreciative, and ignorant. Pearl waded into the fundamentalist modernist debate through several reviews and articles that were published. In 1933, Pearl rejected the doctrine of original sin by saying, "I believe that most of us start out wanting to do right and to be right." She asserted that belief in the virgin birth or the divinity of Christ was not a prerequisite to being a Christian. She said that the only need is to acknowledge the one that can't live without Christ and to reflect that in one's life. The Board of Foreign Missions, under the presidency of Charles Erdman, was called on, and Erdman responded that the board was committed to historic evangelical standards and that they felt that Pearl's comments were very unfortunate, but hoped that she might yet be won back to the missionary cause. Pearl eventually resigned as a Presbyterian missionary in May of 1933. After leaving the Presbyterian Church, Buck remained a humanitarian until her death. Buck founded several associations and agencies catering to the education and improvement of Asian Americans. Pearl S. Buck died of lung cancer on March 6, 1973 in Danby, Vermont. Today, she continues to be regarded as a legendary American writer and humanitarian.